A handshake. I've used a handshake for so many things. To greet people, to congratulate somebody, to say goodbye, and my favorite, to close a deal. I'm looking around this audience and I can tell y'all have used your handshake at least this morning. But I want to share with you one of the most influential handshakes in my life. I'm 11 years old. I'm a sixth grader at R.A. Jones Junior High School. Now, R.A. Jones goes 6th through 9th, and I'm on the 6th grade basketball team, and my coach blows the whistle. Alexander, your dad's here. Now, my dad coming to practice was odd because he never came to practice. But the weird thing was the handshake. Drenched in sweat, I ran over to my dad. Hey, Dad, what's up? And he looked at me and he said, hey, champ, your mom and I are not going to stay together. I'm moving out. I love you, and I'll see you around. He raised his arm, and he shook my hand. I vaguely remember him coming by the house for Christmas that year, bringing some gifts. And then a few phone calls as the school year ended, and then silence. I wouldn't see him for a couple of years. It's 3 years later, and I'm in 9th grade. I'm a freshman. I'm the freshman class president. I'm the captain on the freshman football team. I'm scoring 2 touchdowns a game, and everybody can see my talent. I'm coming off the field with some teammates in one of the games, and one of them looks up and says, hey, is that your dad? It was. Hey, champ, great game. And just like that, he was back. My dad had a complicated life. He made complicated decisions. He had a complicated past. It was just complicated. He had 9 kids from 4 different women. My older siblings would say they barely had a relationship with my dad. They said I was his favorite. My older half-brothers would talk about how they never even got gifts from my dad. Not Christmas, not birthdays, nothing. But then my dad would give me $10 for every touchdown that I scored. Cha-ching. He loved having a star football player as a son. But honestly, deep down inside, I felt like my relationship with my dad was conditional. It was almost transactional. That transactional relationship was lonely. You know, I could be lonely in a room full of people. I catch myself wrestling with this thought, why are you really here? And are you going to leave as soon as you get what you want? Hello, everybody. My name is Shaun Alexander. I am a faithful husband, a devoted father, and a lover of Jesus. Now, football turned out pretty decent for me. I became the #1 high school player in the country, and I scored 110 touchdowns in high school. The NFL, I was drafted in a 2000 NFL draft in the first round. I was the 19th pick overall to the Seattle Seahawks. In 2005, I won the NFL MVP. I won 2 ESPYs, and I was a part of the 2000 All-Decade team. I also scored 112 touchdowns in the pros. The NFL did pay a little bit better than my father. But on the inside, I could still feel lonely. I forgot to tell you about college. I went to the University of Alabama. Y'all know what we say. Roll Tide. Now look, if y'all ain't saying Roll Tide, either you don't know or you're hating. We talking Bama football here, so look, don't get out of the way, right? It's just championship talk. That's what we do. Now, Alabama was amazing. Super exciting. I mean, I had some fanatics around me. They were so in love with Alabama football. I mean, people would come up to us like we were rock stars. I mean, people would say, oh man, I know your stats from high school and your stats from college, and people would say things about me that there's no way they should know. But still, with all that excitement in the air, I could still feel lonely. I was still searching. I wanted to know, what kind of man am I really going to be? Well, I had some friends on campus, and they challenged me about reading the Bible, which I really didn't ever really do too much. And they said, man, you should read some with your number, and I was number 37. So I said, okay. And I found this scripture that really spoke to me. It was Psalms 37:4. Delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Now, what was amazing is because it started making me ask God these questions I really desired to know. Like, God, am I really yours? Can you just show me that I'm really yours? Now, let me tell you how he answered that question. Now, in Alabama, one of the biggest games every year is against LSU. Bless her heart, Lord, bless her heart. Can't help her, can't help it. And so the game's usually at night. It's on a Saturday night, and what's typical is on Thursday night, all the guys would go to the team barber, get our haircuts, and because you're a freshman, you go last. So by the time I got to my room to go to bed, it was probably about 2 o'clock in the morning. I wake up, I go to my Friday morning class, go put the suit on, and we get on the team plane and we fly down to Baton Rouge. Now, when we got to our hotel room, my roommate looked at me and said, hey, I brought the PlayStation, and we started playing video games. And we were playing, and it got really late, and the coach knocked on the door to give room check. All right, boys, lights out. And me being the freshman I am, I jumped and said, Coach, we don't really have to go to bed. We're not even going to play in the game. You know, it's LSU, big game, Saturday night. We got to play. And you know what I wanted him to say? Well, Shaun, you never know. This might be your moment. Everybody's got to be ready. It's game time. You never know. This might be your one special moment. Be ready. That's not what he said. He looked at me, the freshman third-string running back, and he looked at my roommate, who was the fourth-string running back, and he started shaking his head and agreeing with us. And he said, don't keep up the guys who are going to play. We kept on playing that night, and by the time we got to Tiger Stadium, I had realized I had only slept about 9 hours in the last 3 days. But it was game time. So the game goes on, and it's exciting. And the starter gets hurt. And the backup, he gets hurt too. And I'm looking around like, oh my, it's me. So here I am, freshman, tired, third stringer, don't know all the plays, and I'm about to have the greatest game of my life. My first 2 carries were touchdowns. And I had some amazing runs, and I finished the game with 20 carries, 291 yards, and 4 touchdowns. It was the greatest game in Alabama history for a running back. But that night, I felt like God was giving me a transformational handshake. That night wasn't even about football. That night, God was telling me that I was His, whether I was prepared for it or not. I still think about that night. It made me think that I don't want to have any transactional handshakes with anybody. I want to have transformational handshakes. To be honest, I try to create transcending handshakes. Built on transparency and mutual benefits, I have a vision beyond myself to impact generations. But I learned something. I need partners. We all need partners. We all need to learn how to attach ourselves to the right people. I also learned that most people don't have healthy relationships. Matter of fact, most people are lonely. And loneliness is not unique. It's not unique to any leader. It's not unique to any person of influence. If loneliness is not handled well, bad results will follow. I don't know if y'all believe it if I told y'all, but like some of the superstars that you guys watch on Sunday afternoon, some of the gridiron greats that you watch Monday Night Football with, they're on the brink of disaster. It's true. 78% of NFL players will be broke 2 years after they retire. 80% will be divorced, separated, or in unhealthy relationships with their spouse. Now, that's not the only thing that matters, but they are true indicators that once the game is over, our players are losing. That the ability to perform on the field is not translating into performing and succeeding in life. Now, I believe that guys can perform and succeed both on the field and off the field. But it takes true partnerships and trusting relationships. It starts with knowing your why. Now, my why is to awaken the God-given identity, talents, and assignments in other people. And thanks to some trusting relationships I have with the NFL, with Stand Together, with several universities and a few other people, I created the PLP, the Professional Leadership Program. Our goal is to help leaders and influencers master the 5 F's: fame, family, friends, finances, and their future. I've had the wonderful privilege over the last decade of walking with some of football's greatest talents and helping them master their own plans for their own lives. It's been a sweet honor to see them be set free from some of the messy situations that's happened from things in their youth. I remember one of my guys that was on the brink of being a star. He would always wrestle with the things that happened in his past. He would wrestle with, oh my gosh, what if this person did this, and what if this person did that, and what if I would have done this better? And I got to have some great conversations with him and help him learn how to forgive himself and forgive other people. And helped him be able to follow through and become the star that he was created to be. We got to talk him out of the what talk and what ifs. And got to talk him into the who and the why. No, sir, this is who you are, and this is why you're here. You know, when we first started off with the PLP, it was about football. And when I go around and talk with him and we start to say, man, I just so thankful about the times that we had those conversations. It really helped set me free. Our transformational handshake has changed his life. He now influences other people in his own community, helping them to get healthy and go big. His healing, it flows outward. He's transcending. When we started with PLP, it was just football. But we're not stopping with football. We're not stopping in the sports world. We've decided that we're willing to help any leader, any influencer, any institution, any company that's willing to have a transcending handshake with somebody in their environment. So what about you? Are you a part of anything that transcends? How are you all going to leave here today? Can I challenge you? Can I inspire you to be on the look for someone? And when you find that person, can you look them in the eyes and give them a transcending handshake? That handshake could change generations. That handshake is why you're alive. Find it. Let's empower, let's transform, let's transcend.